What's going on, everybody? It's Eli here from TreeFall Studios. Let me go ahead and double check a couple of things, move some stuff out of the way so I can see. Scoot my lighting. Let's get this light on. That is a little bit better. Move this. There we go. Boom, boom. Sitting up a little bit straighter. There we go. I got it shared out. We are starting to go live. All right. Sweet. All right. Put it on Twitter. Welcome to the stream today. All right. Share it in the Discord. And now I'm going to close this out so we can see a little bit better. Actually, before we start, I do want to mention something because this is pretty awesome. But welcome to the stream, everyone. Let me take a drink of water. So yesterday we worked a bunch on Pic-A-Block. We spent the entire time in the Pic-A-Block hub world. We were making a few new things with a secret room on the side, a tower that we're going to be editing today a little bit farther. And we're going to be making a secret room and a secret hallway to come around the side from that. But I don't actually have the project open. I was going to show you guys another sneak peek at the maze project that I'm working on just to get some feedback. And I already have it open, so I might as well show you guys some of this. So this is going to be pretty cool. Let me go ahead and I was about to show you before I switched over the camera. We are on full screen here. Let's go to small screen. Okay, so now we should be here. We're inside of the Unity game engine. And if you guys saw this the other day when I showed this on stream, this was a different grass. It looked like this, and it was like highly realistic and really flat and bland and looked ugly. And, you know, Maze is a little bit more cartoony as it is. Let's go ahead and just maximize this so you guys can see it even better. And let's see. Now, that was... I'm not dropping frames, but yeah, it's having trouble. Let me just turn off the fog, maybe. It looks like it was my computer's having trouble flying. The game engine's a little heavy to be running with the stream going. So we won't take a look at this for just too long. I'm just going to go in here real quick to show you guys some updates. But I drew some new grass. It's not the same grass as the cartoon grass from the original Maze or Maze Pedestal of Trials. And I actually think that this one looks better. You can see that it has a little bit of height to it. It's got some bumps to it. But then when you go farther out, you can kind of see it still has a little bit of a shape. It's highly green and highly saturated, which I enjoy for our grasses, but also looks good in the shadows and in the dark, I think. So yeah, I think I'm pretty happy with that for now, or at least it's a good new starting point. I might change it up a little bit later. So I'll automatically think that it made this maze look better with this grass, and I think it matches these brick walls that I made pretty good. However, I wanted to point out one more thing to you guys, and that's these 3D grass models that I have made. And I've basically joined them into single objects to where they can be duplicated and then rotated, and they line up exactly with the walls of the maze. So I can kind of easily, you know, put them down all of the corridors. And I just wanted to get some opinions on what you guys think. I actually think it looks pretty good. And I even started putting them up on the top so you can see a little bit of grass hanging over the ledges if you are starting to look up. I'm going to go ahead and hit play and make sure it doesn't like run a little too hot on the stream. But yeah, when you look and you see the edges, I think it gives a little bit more dimension because it's kind of like weeds, like a little bit of grass and weeds. You know, they're sticking out. They're flat, but they're turned, so they're 3D. And I kind of drew them with a little bit of a shadow shape going on. This is like the 5th or 6th iteration. I tried a bunch of different versions that were all pretty much hideous, and I just hated them all. But this one right here is the first one that I felt like was semi worth keeping. And I think it makes it looks better. I think it already looks better than the previous game. So let me know in the comments what you think. If you're not watching live, let me know if you check this stream out after it posts and it's a published video. Let me know what you guys think of this grass in the comments below the video. I think it also gives a little bit of dimension too, because you can see that grass is sitting on the top of the maze if you look up there. And it adds some shape to the shadows. So now you can kind of see it's like all bumpy along the edge. So you can see the grass hanging off the ledge on the shadow. So then the shadow isn't just a flat square either. I think that's pretty good, especially for just getting started. So yeah, I think it looks pretty good. I was trying to decide whether or not to only have it like weeds in the corners against the brick walls, or if we want it on every surface, because this is what it looks like. So this was like my test. You know, I didn't think that I was going to have it out here when you just have like a platform out with no walls connected. It kind of doesn't make sense. So it would either look like this, or it would look like this. So take your pick if you think grass should just line the edges all the way. It is angled since it's supposed to be in the corner against the wall and angling 3D out. So if we're gonna keep it on this platform, I need to flip it around so it's like angled the other way. So it's like kind of hanging off the ledge, if that's the plan. I just haven't decided. I'm going to go back and forth on it. And then, you know, like I was just mentioning, I think you can make this jump. Yeah. These are the grass pieces I put at the top, so you would see them over the edge. And I think it looks all right. I think that I need to put it on the other sides just to make it look like it's growing off of the edges. So I guess it would kind of look like this, but down there. One is facing the correct direction. So yeah, I think it's pretty good. I think we'll probably keep that. So there's your free look at an early look. Let me switch here. That's an early look at Maze Rising Trials and a couple of the things that I was working on this morning. Grass models, new grass textures. And I already started playing around with the fog settings as well to try to get some better looking fog in there. Alrighty, let me pull up Blender here so we can get back to what we were doing yesterday. Is that like running too hot? Let me check my CPU percentage. It's a little. Let me see if there's something else. Nope, it's just Blender OBS and my YouTube Stream Manage. So that's a little concerning. It feels like there's something going on in the background. I don't know if it's this Windows update that I didn't do yet. I can see it hanging out. It wants me to restart my device. I don't know if that would have anything to do with it, but it just feels like I can see my computer's running a little hotter than normal on OBS than it normally does, which is than it did yesterday with the Blender. So hopefully we won't have any crashes. If we do, I'll probably just cut the stream short today and just move on tomorrow and try to get it a little bit better. Okay, let me switch back over. Small screen, here we go. We are now looking at our castle, and this is where we left off yesterday. So what we did was, this didn't exist. We created this room yesterday. We filled all this in. We created these walls. We decided to make this a singular door here and cut that out. I'll probably edit that a little bit further, even more actually. And then we made this cutout right here. We made this entire model, this tower here, this platform around our little magical fantasy looking roof. And we cut out a door and we flipped it around and we made an indoor section so we can have a little treasure in here or a level. And that's where we stopped. And what I was mentioning last time, we also moved the rest of the castle away in the distance so we could see a little bit better when we closed off these walls. We did all of that yesterday. And I was mentioning that we're going to be building a secret room before starting all of the final little details. And right before we went, we cut these lines down here so we could have a lined up loop cut that we're going to go from here, and we're going to go down into this section. You can see this is all hollowed out and there's nothing in here. But we're going to make a secret room here, actually. And I haven't decided. We're going to kind of go with the flow together today, everyone. And we are going to try to decide if we are just going to go straight down into an open room, or if we're going to build a set of hallways. So what we're going to do first, this is going to be our secret door. So I don't really want it to, it could be simple. All right, I'm thinking. Give me just a second. We're thinking this through here. We are trying to decide. So what we got a couple options. I'm trying to decide because, you know, these walls are facing the other way. These are the outside walls. So we need to build some inside walls in order to do this room. And we could just come down from here. We could just take down all of these walls and just come straight down. And then if we do that, then we're going to have a problem with this hole in the floor, because when you look up, it won't look like you just fell through a hole in the floor. It's actually going to look like there's no floor, because all of these are facing the wrong way. So we actually also need to bring these down and have it 3D on this side. So when you're inside this room and you look up, there is a roof. So, and I don't know how big I want it to be. I think I want it to be the size of this whole room here. But honestly, a couple more cuts might make this easier, so we could just bring down walls. Hold on. Instead of getting, let's do something even. Let's try another. What happens if we just inset? No, we got to fill it in first. Let's try something else real fast. Whoa. This is not what we want to do, but this is basically the hallway that we want to make. All right. Yeah, let's put that back. Let's inset by about that much. And if we take this, you know, I'm not sure, guys. If we take these right here and we extrude down, yeah, it ruins this floor. So we could just do it like this. We don't want to make the ceiling that tall. So what we want to do is this will work out. I think this method is probably the most efficient. And this might make you dizzy because doing all of this upside down here and inside of a room. Yeah. Okay. Not that these are going to matter at all, really. But what we want to do... we might want to flip these. These are all still facing up the right way. And then I think... I don't know. Is it even going to matter? These aren't going to matter at all. Let's not even bother with it. So what we want to do is we want to take this this. We still want these to be all lined up. So we're going to go like this. This is the x-axis and it's not straight. So we want to just, is that because of the cut? Yeah, it's because of the cut and we didn't straighten up the cuts actually. Should we straighten up a cut? It's going to be a little difficult now since we've cut out so many things. But we could just take this. We're not changing this line. This is the only line. This is one of the only lines that's going to be actually not on an even number because it's going to mess with our door here that we already made. And I kind of like the door length the way it is, so it's okay. So we're going to take this, and we're going to copy this X value, and we're going to go back to these guys. This is going to look real confusing at first, but this will get pretty cool. And then we're going to take just this one, okay, this one, extrude again. Yeah, it's going to go over a little bit. Copy this X value. Take these guys. Okay. Boom, there we go. And then this should be an even number. 52. And then we're going to go over to 52. We made one mistake because this needs to be filled in. Let's put this on 52. Now, if we highlight all of this and we go to mesh merge distance, we should have gotten rid of all those vertices. And if we look around now, let's double check. This is upside down, so don't get confused. We want the blue arrows pointing up on everything. Is everything? Nope, we are not connected to this. But we are on this side. And that's not connected there. It's a little odd. Do we have something in the way anywhere? Just bumped the microphone. Sorry if that too much noise. Removed 10 vertices. There we go. There we go. And then I think our only culprits here are these faces. And we're going to go to mesh normals flip. So those are blue facing up, blue facing up, blue facing up. It doesn't matter on the side there. It's getting real hard to see. Don't get too dizzy out there, everyone. And yeah. Okay. Now, this is going to get slightly more complicated. Let's go back to, let's get this guy turned around to where we can see. Okay. Now we're just going to go back to the edge mode, not the face mode, excuse me. And we're going to go here, 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 and here. And whoops, not you. Here. All right, and then we want to extrude this down. So we got some walls. And the height, we're going to go with 10 on the Z. Obviously, we don't actually need you. I wonder if I can fix this. I don't need that many. I just need a single cut. And then we want it to be lined up with this here. And this is 18. So let's put it on 18. Boom, boom, boom. Yep, that's all right. Everything's looking good, looking good. Perfect. So now this is still that number. Let's copy that over. Did I get it? That odd 62 number. And then we're going to go across to the entire floor. And we're going to extrude it and we're going to put it on that value. So we're matching exactly down the line. Let's go ahead and copy over this X value right here. Let me double check. The lighting on the camera looks okay. I don't have my overhead light on. I'm trying to use the window again. So let me know how that looks. By the way. All right, so we've copied over this right here. This value on the X. And then, all right, guys. So what we're going to do is we're going to take these. Did I duplicate this twice already? Don't believe so. Let's just double check. There we go. Now we're going to duplicate this, paste, and then what was this, 52? Yep, we're going to do the same thing here. This is pretty awesome. I'm pretty excited about this. And then we're going to go 52. I'm excited about a lot of things in this game, but you know, this is exciting too, because I haven't done any kind of complex modeling like this or indoor modeling, you know, in a while. Let's make sure that everything's lined up. 52, nothing is off. 52, these vertices are also 52. Everything is flat. Yep. So everything is looking really good and all lined up, except for just a couple of places. I mean, it's still all lined up and everything's quads the right way, but it's just there's only a couple of lines that aren't on the exact even interval, but that's okay. And now what we want to do is we want to close these up, not like that. Close this wall up, close. Now this should be exactly, oh, wait. We need to make this one close first, and then we close this, and then we close this. Let's go ahead and highlight everything once again. Let's hit merge, and then just make sure we don't have any hidden vertices hanging out. Boom. Now let's Control S so we don't lose anything. It does look like whatever was going on in the background when I was first loading everything up, CPU load has been cut in half, so it looks like we should be all right for just a little bit. All right. Now I've got a couple of things that I'm like, let's build the secret path first. Actually, maybe we won't do that. I'm trying to think. We might actually use in-game models to do the secret path, to where there's like a model here, our little bridge, not our bridge, the like little ledge we've got with our wooden slats. We might use that and put it here, and then like put another one there, so when you walk out you kind of hop back over. This is going to be gated, so you're not going to be able to get in there and see that. I'm going to think about something for just a sec and determine what's the best course of action. Now this might be a lot to cut. That adds a whole cut around here. Not sure we want to do that. Just to get these to connect. It would probably be more advantageous just to come up one more time here. Yeah, because we already have this cut here, so we just need to go up by one. Let's do this, guys. Let's go up by, well, no, that's actually not one. It should be two. We are doing 2-meter walls. Don't let me forget. All right, so now we're just adding a little bit of extra detail. We're gonna make this pop just a little bit more. And we're gonna come here and we're gonna fill in all of these. Boop, boop, boop. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna go here. We're gonna add some more bevels to it. We're gonna go back to our 7 segments. Cut it real close. Oh yeah. And for this, we need to, before we start doing all the edges like that, we need to determine what our ending segments are going to be to round our brick, because we're not just going to have walls that come straight up like this. We are going to have a little bit of a rounded brick on them. Basically like this. We're kind of wanting to match this segment, but I think we're not going to do it as sharp because it's just the walls at the top. You're not really going to see too much of it. So, So my thinking here on this secret room is I like this a lot. It's pretty cool, but I don't really like the fact the drop down of the floor is like right here, and then the exit is like right there, and it's not somewhere else like over here maybe. I don't really want it to be over here, and I don't really want to have platforms over here because I don't want it to be so easily seen. From when you're walking out here and then you come back and then you see it right down there and you just fall off the ledge, and instead of going through the secret door here, which is going to be either a puzzle or a key that you're going to have to find to unlock it, you would just jump down and then walk into the room and just be able to go around the outside, and that's much less appealing. But I don't really like having it just like this. You can see if you're looking down with the camera, you can see out this hole and out the next door. If you were just running, if you know anything about the Pic-A-Block controller until we recode it, you might just run a little bit too fast, get too much momentum, hit that ground, and then just fall right out the wall, and then, just fall to your death and kill yourself on accident. That's not what we want for the game. And also, I want you to not look straight outside the door. I want you to look at the room itself. So the two options I'm thinking about fixing that are, I kind of want this to be the exit. So you just come out like once and have like 1 or 2 platforms and come back to the beginning. I don't want you to have to go around. I don't want you to have to go, out somewhere else. This is what makes sense the most, I think. But, I got 2 options of fixing this, and I'm either going to make... Oh, I shouldn't have clicked off. That's the first time I messed up the center snap, I think. It's the first time I left-clicked this entire model on accident. Let's go to Mesh, Snap, Selection, or Cursor to World Origin. Yeah, just put that back and out of the way. All right, so the 2 options are I'm either going to basically cut some lines here and here, and I'm going to drag them down. So it's kind of like a tunnel. So you would like hit the wall and then you just pop out at the bottom and then you would see the door. Or Well, I think a better idea is one, I was gonna block off this like room and make it smaller and then make you go around the hallway. Like basically make, let me switch back modes, making these walls basically, and then this would be the secret room, and then to get out you would have to loop around like a snake and go out the hallway. I'm not really sure that's the best either, when we can probably just do something like this. We could just go to loop cut. Hold on. Is this guy not a quad already? Mesh merge distance, remove 4 vertices. This can't, is that we were missing some stuff, but nope, it's not that. So are we not connected? We are connected on there, and that's all connected. So why can't we run a loop around these? Should it not be able to run around this whole wall? Well, I guess it wouldn't do that because there's no floor there. But why wouldn't it run at least from this square to this square to this square? Is that because of this wall not being it's connected to it? I'm just going to test again. It's not actually a problem. All we want is to subdivide this one. Let me look at our vertices and see. But this wall, this is connected to the wall, I think. Yeah, right. That's moving the wall. Yep. So I don't understand why it wouldn't run across here, down that. And like maybe it should. These are all quads and they're all connected, so it should be able to run across that. I don't really like that. Am I missing something? Let's double check, make sure none of our extrusions or anything. I don't think we extruded anything where there'd be a face hiding in the middle. Little odd, little odd. I'm gonna scoot my chair back. Stretch on it. Oh. My back is very tired today now after yesterday's exercise. Interesting. Let me just see what it looks like to cut these. All right, so you can't even cut any of those. Something's a little odd, a little off in here. In our face fill. It's okay. I can loop all the way around there, though. It's just a problem because this is actually connected to that wall and stuff. So if we cut all the way across every little bit, we're not going to be cutting matching vertices here. I'm just going to make a literally disconnected thing. Duplicate. be our Y values? This will be 42. Oops. This is what I want. 42.669. That would be a 2-meter wall. It's a little big. We're going with the 1-meter one right now. Let's go to 41. And let's extrude you. That would be... Go ahead and get rid of the face. We're not overlapping anything. This is height of 19. Let's put it on 19. Honestly, we don't need this face either. But we do need to recalculate all of these normals so we can be seen. And we're just going to come all the way down here, exactly like that. There we go. That's not exactly the method that I was planning on using, and that's not what I was thinking right away. But if we look at it now, when you look down the hole, there's a wall blocking the outside. You're not going to look straight down that. You will fall down the hole, turn around instantly because there's just a wall in the way. You'll see the secret room, so the player will be able to see all of the things that we have in store for them in the room. And then from there, they'll be like, okay, how do we get out? Then they'll realize, oh, there's a little bit of all space that way. And then they're going to walk around the wall. Then they're going to see this little section here pop out of this door. Boom, boom, run around the corner, and bam, you'll be back in the beginning of the hub world. Now, if I start cutting this here into like a cool shaped window, we're going to mess up all these lines. But I think that it's probably fine because we already did that for here with those lines. So I think we'll try to go ahead and bevel this too. 7 is good, and I want to get it to the width about there. Yeah. Very castle-y. Here we go. Very medieval and all very cool. Okay, thanks for tuning in to the stream, everyone. I can see a lot of people popping in and out. Welcome to the stream. We are currently working on a giant 3D model for a hub world for a 3D platforming game. We have now finished our drop-down secret door, our secret room. We flipped all the stuff on the inside. We built a little hallway wall. Now we've curved our door on the outside. Yesterday we built this right here, this tower over here with this indoor room, which is going to look pretty cool. And now I think all of the actual traversable areas are done, except for if we want to add, we still need to add a few things in here for the second floor of this room. It's so hard to see. Sorry for the way I'm spinning the camera around, but we have a 2-story room in here that we are going to add a floor around the top. So there was going to be stuff up top and stuff basically in the bottom. And then at that point, our level design is done. And then what we're going to be doing is building some extra details. We're going to go around and curve some of the edges, kind of like we did these doors here and this door. And we're going to curve all the brick walls, all the top pieces. We're just going to get those a little bit curved around. We're going to build the doors here. We need to do that for these areas. And then I think there's 2 options. We're either going to go with details and build some extra models, or we're going to go with creating the structures. The final bit of the structures over here in this castle. That would be cool. or going ahead and finishing up the level design here, because this is kind of all blank and left open. But we'll see what we do next after we start covering some of these bricks. Billy's Unlisted Video Archive, welcome to the stream. Thank you for joining in today. His comment, he says, what kind of game are you developing? And right now, this is currently a 3D platforming game. This is heavily inspired by Spyro, old platformers back in the day. This is actually a sequel to a 3D platforming game that we've already released called Pic-A-Block. Pic-A-Block is available on the PlayStation 4, and it's a game where you play as a magical potted plant come to life, and you can utilize different seed abilities by growing plants inside of your character or by growing plants in other pots and taking advantage of them. And that's how you solve puzzles and do levels. But this level here is going to be a 3D platforming jungle gym, basically, with lots of hidden alcoves and places to reach. As you level up and get more seed items, you're going to be able to access more areas. We have a secret room up here with a level. We got a hallway back here in the courtyard. We have now built a inside secret room in here. That's what we just finished. On top of this, for scope and sake, the character is like small. He's about this side, right? He's about this size right here, about this height. So you actually cannot jump. This is like an entire floor basically. And so you have to get items, and we're going to be building platforms for you to be able to jump up here. So there'll be enemies and levels and items to collect here. And then when you come around the corner, this will have a level, and then we're going to have some stuff for you to climb to get up into this room. And then you can see we've made this arched doorway here. And then this is going to be locked off by a secret trap door, a puzzle, or a key that we're going to have to get later. We built this, and this is going to house another set of secrets. There'll be some items laid around this thing. And then inside of this room, there's either going to be some treasure or another level. And now we kind of need to build the inside of this room. If I go here, you know, I showed just a second ago, all of this is open for us to work with still. The coolest part is we have this giant curved hallway cutting through the level. So it loops in and out, and then it pops out all throughout here. And then we're going to have this curved courtyard over here with some fountains and some trees and a level there. And then there's a secret slim little passageway. This is about exactly the size of the character. And we're going to create a way eventually in the game engine for you to get up here. And then you come right here and you try to wiggle down the edge, and then boom, there's another cutout over here, and then there's a room that way, and then a room that way. One side of the room is going to house some treasure for you to collect, and one side is going to house another secret level. And then back here we have the cutout for our drawbridge basically, and then the rest of the castle. We just push that over there because this is not actual playable area. This is going to be like the castle in the background. And it's a little big. We still got some stuff to make on this, but we're moving it out of the way for now so we can build the playable, jumpable areas. So yes, Billy's Unlisted Video Archive says, that's creative. And he says, cool. So yeah, that's what we're working on. This is, I think, episode 10. Yeah, let me check. Yeah, episode 10. So we've been doing this for 10 days in a row, work days, Monday through Friday. And the first 2 days we were working on a different game, not this one. I decided to make this game the live stream game because it's probably going to end up being a little cooler to put together than the other one. The other game's a little tedious behind the scenes on level design, even though this has been quite tedious as well. So I think that we're going to keep doing this on the live stream. At the start of today's live stream, though, I did show another, the maze project that I'm working on. So every once in a while, we'll take a quick break from our 3D platforming, but for now, this is what we're doing. And soon, I hope to start, you can see we already got some red lines here. These are the texturing seams, and we need to start lining these all up so we can put some colors on these walls so everyone can kind of get a better picture. You know, these roofs here, and these right here are going to be bricks. This is like a Scottish castle architecture that I looked up as a reference image. They have kind of bricks coming down the side, but then straight lined roofs. These roofs are going to have, you know, actual shingles. So this will look like a roof texture, and then all these walls and all of this is going to be brick, and these are going to be brick, and then we're going to put some wooden doors here, like some gates that you can see through. And then, you know, this part over here is starting to get into our magical, mystical Spyro type environment. We're going to reuse the shingles up here for this part of the roof, and then, you know, a brick color for this part of the wall. Not sure if we're going to use the same one as the rest of the castle. We might actually change this one up so it looks a little bit aged or weathered. But yeah, I'm trying to decide on how much I want to do here platforming wise. Another little thing we're going to be doing is, like, there's going to be some pools here for fountains in the courtyard that we're going to build, but we're going to basically build them separate. This entire thing is mostly one model that we started basically from a cube and created this entire structure. And it's going to be very helpful to have it all in one piece to bring in the hub world. But there's a lot of parts to the game that we're going to need to build that are probably going to be separate details, and they're going to sit out separately. So I think we might go ahead and build some of those in this level now. That's probably the next thing, because I think probably lining up all the seams, it's going to be a little tedious and boring. But although, you know, for some people, a lot of video game developers do follow this channel, sometimes we do stuff like that for more of a learning experience and not just entertainment. But I'm pretty happy with it so far. I think it looks pretty good compared to some of our previous games. I can pull up this. Let's go to treefallgames.com just to show you. So if you look at our website, well, here we go. Yeah, you guys can see that. This screenshot right here is from the first game. It's from Pic-A-Block. And you can see there's a lot of level designs I really like in this game, and we have a whole lot of stuff going on in this one image. But you can see that most of the designs we basically built, like, you know, these square shaped platforms, circular shaped platforms that go up and down and have like little trails in them and stuff like that. And then I would design the levels based on those shapes. And then from there, I would create individual models, like these little columns, or like this wood piece right here, these wood beams, and then like these sandstone cinder blocks. This is a desert shot. And then we would, you know, fill it up with enemies. These guys flying here. Anything with a spike is an enemy. The spiked balls, the plant balls, the flying guys, all spikes down there, enemies. There's some enemies up here. And then all of this section is all puzzle solving. So basically what, you know, I would do, and you can see we got some flying carpets here. It was pretty sweet. And these giant moving elevators in the back. We would build like little models to fill in the level designs, and that was pretty cool. But it wasn't like each level was completely original. They're all original levels, but they all had the same type of feel because they're all designed off of the same models. So for this game, as you can see, like, we're hand doing like each level basically. And it's going to take a whole lot longer to do that. This game was going to be a shorter game. That was the goal originally, but it's not exactly what we're thinking anymore. Probably going to make this scope a little bit larger, but we'll see. I'm going to go ahead and like pop a new cube in here, and I'm going to pull up another reference. Let me get this here so I can see the chat still. I'll look at some architecture, get some ideas on the architecture. Shouldn't take me too long. We're going to basically go with a square base, and then we're going to turn it into a cylinder and then go up and make a column. So yeah, something like that. So we're just going to make this here, and we're going to do it inside of this model, even though this is going to be a separate model. And that's just so we can see exactly on our scale how we want this to be. Because these columns, I basically want them to be, let's scoot them back right here. Might as well make it over here so you guys can see exactly what we're doing. Right here, like this column, this is not what we want, but I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this right here. So basically the column is going to start at the bottom and then fill out exactly at the top, right along the heights here. So that way we can duplicate a bunch of them and pull them all the way around this level. And they're also going to be like flat surfaces here. That way you can hop around and jump on them. And there's going to be some treasures like, you know, sitting on them for you to collect. And then if we do it that way, let me just duplicate this so you guys can see the idea and the vision for where we're going. There'll be some more here like this. They'll basically be like this. Whoops. Shift D. And like right about like this. Yeah. So there'll be columns here like boom, 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 boom. So this is going to be much more 3D instead of just flat. And then obviously, you know, we're going to put some stuff in the levels here. And even these flat parts like these, we're going to curve those in just a little bit just to give them a little bit of a brick edge. But we want to texture it first before we curve them all. That's what I was mentioning the other day on the stream, because it's going to be a little bit easier to line up the bricks and make sure they're lined up and textured first before we start pulling the edges around and making the bricks curved. Because then that's going to be a whole lot more difficult to line them up. So let's go ahead and get rid of those. And then let's go back here and let's try to do a column. So I actually want to put the, I don't really like where the, well, we'll put the pivot at the bottom. Well, we can just do it now. Let's go ahead and select this face. And we want to go to Mesh, Snap, Cursor to Selected, and then what we want to do is go to Object, set Origin to 3D Cursor, and then now what we want to do is go to Snap Cursor to World Origin to put it back in the middle because we don't need it there right now. And then we're going to go back here. So now we can drag these and the pivot point is at the bottom. We don't actually need this right now. And then this is obviously a little too thick. I think that we might go ahead and circle this up. We need to pull it down. Yo, PLP, welcome to the stream, my man. Been missing you today. What's going on? We're just working on Pitter-Pot. And I'll show you real quick the work that we have been doing. So we connected this wall. We raised these walls up over here. And you're good, man. You don't have to be here every day. But it's fun when you are. But nice to hear you overslept, getting some good rest in. I could not sleep in this morning. I really, really wanted to. Because like I told you yesterday on stream, I went to the gym. And bro, today I am feeling tired. I'm like out of energy. I'm not really giving the stream my best energy because my back is hurting. I'm a little sore and tired. And I only slept for like 5 hours, 6 hours. I couldn't sleep more than that for some reason. And I was up ready to work. But yeah, so we curved this. I connected this and we curved this. So we got a cool door here. And then the secret room that we were talking about yesterday, we have this cutout here. And then as you can see, we cut out a wall here and we curved this already on stream today. So it's a cool castle door. We put a wall here so that when you run down the hole, you don't actually run right out of the door and fall to your death. we know how the Pitter-Pot controller is. So that way you fall down here, and you have this whole secret room here that's going to be full of treasures and possibly a level. And then you're going to pop out here and then come around the corner and come back to the beginning. And I was just explaining how we're going to be making these columns. So that's just about all the level design for the actual castle that we're going to be doing. And now we're going to start building columns here that are going to be just like extra details that are going to be additional models dragged all around the level. So I am going to be starting with this square, and we're going to have a square base, and then we are going to be curving it up with a cylinder. We're going to turn the square into a cylinder so it's all one piece, and then we're going to pop out the top and come back to a square, or at least we're going to try, because I would like to make it all one piece instead of doing it separate ways. So we're going to see how that goes. I think we might do something like... I'm going to get thinking real quick. If we go like this... Yeah. It's a little much. We could probably cut down some of these segments so we don't just destroy our performance, because this level is going to be huge, everyone. It's going to be massive when we're all done. I think we can probably go down to like this. Let's just see what it looks like if we shade it smoothly. Shade smooth. Yeah, I think that's good enough. Yo, Metgan, what is going on? Welcome to the stream. Good to see you today. Actually, after we got off the stream yesterday, last night I was checking out some of your videos. I watched some of your interview with what's his name? I already forgot his name. He was one of the Atari YouTubers. You guys were talking about your games on Atari VCS. I was giving that a shot and checking it out and looking at some of your games. So I think this is good for now. And then we're gonna go with... See, now this is the part that it's gonna get a little confusing if we're going into a circle, because if we go straight into a circle from here, it's gonna be a little awkward. It might connect too much to the curve, so we're going to try it two different ways before we keep going. Mekan says, I mean, considering PS4 and PS5 power level, nothing should be a problem, right? And then he says, Kraz and BCB, those are some interviews he was on. It was the BCB guy, I think. I don't remember what that stands for, but I think it was that guy. He has like 1,000 subs, and he makes like Atari and Playdate content. Yeah, I was just checking it out. Now, I think your games are looking pretty good, man. To be honest, the newer ones are looking, looks like you're really putting some work in. I was very interested. I was watching some of the videos because, I was going to try to do the Atari VCS thing. And then like I got through the process with them, and then, signed the NDA, and I was like almost there. And then they were like changing over staff. And then I think I was like a little salty in the email, according to like what the guy had said to me. And then I don't know if I ran them off, but I was like, I probably shouldn't have said that, but they had been giving me the runaround forever. And I was like, oh man. So I never went anywhere with them after that. So I started thinking about it yesterday after checking out some of I was watching a bunch of the reviews on what guys were talking about on your games, because they looked pretty cool. But I don't actually have a VCS to get and play it myself. So I'll have you probably send me like a computer version, maybe, just so I can check them out. But your question is the power level. The PS4 is still pretty great. The power level is pretty awesome. compared to what we've been working on all of our games. However, we are going to have a whole lot of moving parts and animations and effects and hidden treasures all around this. So there could be some draw depending on what kind of lighting effects that I end up trying to do with this game and what kind of render pipeline we try in Unity. We want to be as efficient as possible at every step of the way so that when something goes wrong, we can really pinpoint where it's coming from. But all right, we're gonna go here, and he puts a laughing face in the chat. Yeah, I've been trying to for months, like in 2022, my Atari VCS story. I was looking for I was trying to go like as multi-plat as I could. I was seeing like a lot of people in their community like really excited about the system, and I was like, oh, this will be easy. You know, I'll be able to port all my games over in a couple of weeks and make quite a bit of revenue off, Perplexing Orb, Maze, all that kind of stuff. Because I figured those would be huge sellers because there wasn't that many games on their catalog. So I was like, oh, let's do that. Let's do Xbox and let's do, PlayStation. I was still trying for Switch. I was going for Switch, and I was like, all right, let's get every platform possible. And then I kept emailing them and they kept emailing me, and then they just kept waiting forever to respond. They're like, yeah, we'll get back to you. The game looks good. I think we can do that. And then I would wait like 3 months. I would send them emails, nothing back. Then I would wait like another 3 months, send them an email. They'd be like, oh, sorry, that guy doesn't work here anymore. And actually, you're dealing with me now. And even though they thought the game was good, they were basically like, is it good enough? And I'm like, okay, dude. I was like, at that point, it had been like an entire year of chasing emails back and forth. And I was like kind of salty. So I was basically like, my wordy email. Not that I said anything too mean, but I'm like, well, that probably wasn't the most professional I could have said. Mick Ann says, by the way, VCS currently games like ours can barely sell 200 copies. If you would like, I'd happily publish your games on there. 200 copies, that doesn't sound, it might not sound like a lot. That doesn't sound like full-time income or anything like that. Obviously, you're going to be selling a whole lot more on consoles like PlayStation. We sell a lot more than 200 copies of our games. But if you guys have been paying attention to some of my videos and stuff like that, it took me a long time to hit 1,000 copies on Steam. And, it's boosted up a lot recently. I've probably sold, I don't know, maybe a couple hundred copies of games since that. Not a couple hundred, maybe like 100 more copies of games since that 1,000 video. I'm somewhere in like the 1,200 range, maybe on Steam. But that's like nothing, it took so long to do it on Steam. And I just basically use Steam as like my, additional side income that, the Steam income and the Patreon income and my old Nintendo Wii U income. When you added all that up, it would help the PlayStation income push me above a full-time job limit, and losing that Nintendo income is a little sad. So even if you could sell 200 copies of a game, if I could publish something like Orb and Maze or something like that, if I published Maze and sold 200 copies of a $10 game, that's another $2,000. Is that the math, right? 10 times 200, yeah. So it's something like that is side income that really adds up with our Steam income. Megan says, personally keep poking until I hear something. Yeah, I'm just going to keep doing the same thing. I think I'm going to bother them because I'm like, it just can't be that hard to get the ports working on there. And he says, but isn't Steam a bit different? A vast sea where popularity means everything. Yeah, that's basically the problem with Steam. It's super hard to compete, and you have a whole lot of competition. I will say I'm really excited. I was playing Mighty Math the other night, and I was like, dude, this game is awesome. I can't believe I haven't sold 1 million copies. No one knows about it, but I was playing it on Steam and having fun with my own game. And I sold 2 copies of it this morning on Steam, and I was like, oh, is this the Mighty Math train? I was like, is it about to happen? Is Steam going to give me the algorithm? Is it time? It's time. Everyone play Mighty Math. But yeah, you can get lucky on Steam, and obviously if you make it through, or the algorithm features you, or they push it out and like people start playing it, leaving reviews, that kind of thing, you're gonna blow out the water, with Steam sales versus the VCS. But currently, I'm not really selling that much on Steam. And I've watched a bunch of those videos. There are a lot, probably 5 to 10 YouTubers I've seen, retro YouTubers that are like VCS focused. And they all have between 1 to 3,000 subs, and their community is like pretty adamant on like buying all the games to support the system. And I've seen a lot of the games on there, and I'm like, most of them are like really old Atari games, or like, really, not the greatest quality indie games. And I'm like, well, I feel like I have a couple games that I could at least put on there that owners would enjoy, you know what I mean? Not that my games would be, better than everything on there. There's a lot of cool looking games. I'm not trying to say that, but I feel like it would be good additions to their library, and that people would, find enjoyment from some of them. And it would be a good extra set of income for me, I think. Unfortunately, Mekan says, unfortunately, blowing after first month is pretty much lottery luck there. Yeah, on Steam, I think you mean. And then he says, yes, they are so supportive. Yeah, that's what I've seen. That's what I kind of like. That's the whole reason why I was drawn to Atari in the first place. And that's because like the Wii U community, like it was the same way. I got my start from like really supportive people who wanted to try, weird projects or interesting games, because there was nothing to play on Wii U, and everyone wanted to support Nintendo, and like we were supporting Nintendo, so they wanted to support us. I see Atari, the VCS community is very similar, and I'm always down for like gamers who are happy, who just want to play games and want to support developers. That is a much more, welcoming community than, people fighting and biting between, who's better, PlayStation or Xbox, you know what I mean? So I've been rambling a little bit, so we can start cutting this. All right, guys, let's try to subdivide this a couple of times and see if we can turn this into a sweet, sweet circle. That looks like enough faces. Let's see if our tools are still here. Now, there used to be a tool, if you pressed the W key, that you could turn this into a circle, or if you had enough edges. I don't know if those tools are still here. But yeah, glad to see that you're out there and you're pumping out your games, and you're really trying. So that's very, very encouraging. I'm wishing you all the best of luck. Do you have your games on Steam, Megan? I'm assuming that you do. How are your Steam sales going? Let's see. They're probably on Blender 3.0. I think that we probably have moved this, if we still have this tool. Transform to sphere. Okay, this is the tool, I think. Let's try that. We're overlapping a little. I think if we scale these guys down, we might be able to keep this a circle. Yeah. There we go. So we got our faces. All right, let's try this. Now let's try coming up with a circular column from our square, and let's see if we can turn it back into another square at the end. All right, Mekan says, actually, I found a similar community platform named II Arcade, but after my first release there, the company went bankrupt. I decided to try my luck with better games. For you, right now, pushing my best Doodle Taxi for Steam, and the first game I ever pitched to you, Princess, was on Steam, only sold 45 copies. Wow, that's super impressive that you were able to get 45 copies of Princess. Not to say that was bad looking, but there's a lot of my games I don't think I've hit 45 copies on Steam, so that's pretty impressive, to be honest. Yeah, I saw is the taxi one the one that you sent me recently? I thought it was I didn't know it was called taxi. I thought it was traffic, Mechans traffic something. I was watching the videos on that one, the one where you're like the car and you're you know, dodging the traffic to get to the end goal, basically. Whoa, got the wrong line there. So let's just go with face mode to do this, to be honest. We're in a circle. And honestly, I think that we can probably... Can we smooth this? We can only shade smooth. So we need to go to the mesh. And we need to transform... There used to be a smooth feature to where you would actually smooth the actual edges together. I wonder if that's in... Whoa. I don't know where this is now. It's circular enough. It'll look fine. Well, the same game sold 100 plus on VCS. Oh yeah, so yeah, you're getting that you're getting that knowledge that I got when I started doing Steam to Wii U to PlayStation, because people used to get mad at me on YouTube videos when I would talk about it. Like, people would watch my videos and be like, there's no way you're full-time, or, you know, all this kind of stuff, or how does this work? How does sales work? Because I would talk about the first video I ever made. Let me show you if you guys haven't seen it, because this is directly related to your topic. Let me pull this over here. So on my YouTube, this video right here, the how much money my indie game made after 1 week, this one, it's got 13,000 views on it. This is the one that I talked about Maze going on Steam, and I was talking about how Steam was very difficult and that I was pretty sad because we only sold like $127 worth. It was like 20, I don't even know how many copies that was, but the gross was like $127 worth of the game for the first week. And I was talking about how Steam was difficult, and all these people were like, we'll just make a better game, you know, Steam is perfect, blah 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 blah. And then I was like, no, that wasn't the point of the video. The same game sold like, you know, 400 times that on Wii U and like 600 times that on PlayStation, or whatever the numbers were. I was like, it's the same game with the same level of marketing, and you know, it sold way more on both. I've had 2 console experiences now, so it's just a little difficult in order to just sell stuff naturally on Steam, I would say. So I'm pretty impressed that you got 45 copies on there, and that you also saw the same data point that I saw, that even on a console as small as the VCS, there's really, really small numbers of that thing sold. And something even that small, it's crazy that you're seeing the same exact effect where you were selling more than you were on the computer. So that's pretty cool. And he said, I watched a video from like a year ago. Steam is perfect for popular boys who has time. Yeah, Steam, I think that you really need to have an audience. If I'm catching your drift correctly, I think the best thing about it is having an audience like already on YouTube, because like then you're just set up. This looks not good. We're gonna go back to the other method. Let's highlight this whole guy here. I'm gonna go. I closed out my reference image. Let me make sure I don't have too many. I got too many tabs starting to open up here. Don't want to run too much in the background. Let's check my CPU. Yeah, I'm looking good. Let me get my references, my column one more time. Let's make sure we're doing a natural curve. All right, so some of these columns are starting out circular and curving, basically curving in and then going up. So something along the lines of this, kind of like this, and then getting a little bit like that. I want to go too tall. Something like that, a little more natural. And then I guess if we want to really shake things up, and we want to go here, give it a little bit of a curve, and then come straight up. This is looking cool, everyone. This is looking like a pretty legit column so far. And how many... let's take this and make sure we're like exactly even so we can duplicate this. Now we're either going to... All right, there's a couple options now. So let's go ahead and duplicate this a couple times so we have a couple different options to go back to. This was our starting point. In case we don't like one of the methods and it doesn't actually look so good, we can just delete it and start over here, or we can go back and compare. So yeah, let me close out this page too. Mekan says, by the way, IR Arcade was amazing in that perspective too. Sold 175 copies just in one game. That's cool. I think I heard about that. I'm going to Google it real quick. IR Arcade. Arcade. They went bankrupt? Is this what you're talking about right here? WrestleMania, Space Invaders, platform games. Is it for like an actual arcade cabinet? Is that what you did? Well, looks like they still got stuff. What's that for set? You still buy it? Gold edition? There are no products in this category. Original edition? No products. Okay. Well, they have some accessories they'll still sell you. Indeed. Unfortunately, they are gone. Well, they've gone bankrupt, ladies and gentlemen of the chat, but they still have a website, so don't be bamboozled. Yeah, don't need that. They are gone 3/4 of the size of an actual arcade cabinet. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. I think I saw some guys talking about those on those retro videos when I was watching the stuff for VCS. But, yeah. Not sure. Okay. Guys, this is going to look really cool when this is done. You're going to really like it. Because... let me see. I got a message. Here. All right. Here we go. So what we want to do, another thing, let's go ahead and stop this right here. Let's go ahead and duplicate him so you guys can see what we're talking about. Let's go rotate on the X by 180 degrees. Whoa. What is happening? We duplicated? Oh, no. I'm just dumb. I already forgot what I did a second ago. This is like what we're looking for. We're trying to make sure it's this height so we can duplicate the columns all around. Now, I'm a little nervous on this, guys, because I'm starting to look at a little artistic perspective. When we're doodling down here and we're making this guy, ignore this. It's going to look way better as long as we throw an edge split on there. And then boom, look at that. I understand we're adding geometry, but it'll be fine. column looks a little thin to me. If we're zooming out and we're looking at the entire level, at first I was like, it's too thin. Then I was like, maybe it's just right, actually, because we don't want giant columns everywhere. We need room to put all the level elements, the crates to bust, the seeds to pick up, enemies to knock out, levels to jump into, all of that kind of stuff. But, oh, I don't know. It looks a little interesting. Let's try one this size. Let's try one just bigger and wider, a little thicker, and then I want to try one that's like the actual column is like whoop, like kind of like a rounded angle type of deal, something like that. Yeah. Yes, actually, I can mech in use the mirror modifier. I was going to. That's what one of these are for. This is for the mirror attempt. This is for this one. We're going to try to build the top out separately. I'm just using this as a judge because I don't actually want to mirror it just yet because I want the top to not look exactly like the bottom. We're going to go for a little bit more of a detailed look, and towards the top we're going to pop out a couple of extra rings, and then the swoop, this little part right here, where if you look at like where my mouse is going, this little swoop that goes back into the square, we're actually going to make it a little bit of a different shape, like a different size, because I don't want it to look like exactly symmetrical. I want it to have like a little bit more of an artistic design. Yeah, I'm looking at some different column reference images. I'm thinking maybe we build even a platform on top of this part so it doesn't have to go all the way up, and then maybe the skinniness, we'll try a couple different versions. Maybe the skinniness will be not a problem if we do it that way. Although, okay, we could just do it right here with the mirror. I guess we could do it this way. What is that, Z? What is that? Do I have to get rid of that and put the mirror model on it now? And all right, I'm assuming to get this to work, we need to change our pivot point. We'll just try it with this one since we've got these like duplicated in case we need to go back. What we can do is go to mesh, snap, cursor to selected, and then we can go here, and then we can go object, set origin to the center of the 3D cursor, silly me. Then we can add the mirror modifier on here. We can flip it over the Z, and look at that. We are exactly correct. And then what we want to do is go ahead and apply it. That looks pretty ugly. What did it do that for? Is that because of the middle face? Why did it do that? A little odd, don't you think? It was literally not there before. It was like this. Like if we go to edge split this one to look at it, it's completely rounded. It's no problem. When we applied the mirror, it killed our edge angle. Let's see if we can mess that up a little. It's got to go less than 30, I guess. Oh, Actually, don't know why. Let's put the mirror back. Should be able to get it in just a sec. I should have enough control Z's. All right, so the mirror looks good. The cage clipping, do I need to put that on? Make sure we're here. Ah, there is. Is that why? Oh, yeah, you're genius. Nice catch, Mecan. The X was also mirroring. Yep, there we go. Look at you go. That was brilliant. I don't even think I needed to create this face here in the middle like this. And let's go ahead and mesh merge this up. All right, there we go. That's looking like a pretty good column. But so we wanted to go ahead and apply this here because, you know, I was thinking of doing some more things for art reasons. We're going to become artists today, everyone. I know it's hard to believe. He said, glad to help. Yeah, you solved that problem. You saved the day. Thank you. This Z. Let's go to like 8.5. This might be too high. That's perfect, actually. And then 8.15. That's too big. 8.2. Let's try this. Too big. 2.25. Too big. Are we just going with a 3? Okay. Oh, that's 8.5. No wonder. What was I thinking? I thought that was 8.25. 4.5. Okay, good. 8.4. There we go. And we're going to go here and we're going to go to mesh. Extrude along normals. We're going to pull you out just a tad. Although I don't understand why. If we don't go out far enough, we kill the lighting. What the heck? Let's try that again. There we go. We went all the way opposite and it was coming out the other side, I think. There we go. Something like that. Boom. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. Awesome possum. We're going to do a couple of those. We're also going to thicken him up so it looks different at the top than it does the bottom. And let's go here. Let's make some new lines. Change it up just a little. Circle, circle. Maybe like another little one. Let's go and add another 2. .125. Should I cut this one half or should I just make this one smaller? Probably just smaller. We're gonna go back to mesh. Extrude long normals. We don't want this one to be as big though. There we go. Got a little bit of design in there. Looking good, looking good. Now, what we're gonna do is there's a couple of options. The pole looks too long, like I had mentioned. Let's get rid of you. Let's put you over here as our backup. We're gonna go to our wireframe. Oh Lord. All right. Now get everything there. Boom. Pull him down by 1. 2. 2 is going to be too much. 1 is going to be enough, I think. Oh, guys, I know I just had to check the time. I looked over here at the YouTube comments. I was like, it's 4:32. I was like, just sitting here. I was like, all right, we're going to build a little statue to sit on top of this column. And I'm like, geez, all of a sudden I am getting hungry. Already, I have the stomach of like a little old man. I'm ready to eat before 5 o'clock, and I gotta have dinner on 5 o'clock on the dot. Let me know in the comments if that is you, or if you can hold out and have dinner at 6 or 7 like most normal people in your time zone. I guess a lot of people watching are in different time zones, so it's okay. Whenever your normal dinner time is. But I think that's maybe okay. See if I just pull this down just a little bit more. Something like that. I'm thinking it already looks better. McCann says pizza or burger. Oh man. Well, I actually do. So now I do something called a gluten-free diet. I have trouble with bread. So I do eat a lot of pizza still, but they're not the same as I used to have. They're either made out of cauliflower or they're made out of, other things like a dough that's usually made out of like rice or, something like that. So I still do have gluten-free pizzas, and I think they're pretty good still, but it's not the same as it used to be. I think if I'm talking about breaded food, back in the day, I still liked burgers better than pizza. I think that would be my go-to. My go-to dinner would be burger, or Mexican food. That would also be my go-to. All right, so we've got this down to about the right height, and we are gonna go and we are going to actually, we're gonna change this up again. So I'm not sure. Okay. I'm not sure that I like this with the curved top and the curved bottom. What we're going to do is we are actually going to get rid of this stuff. I'm just trying to figure out the best way to do it. Okay. Let's highlight all of this. We have our we've got our extra over here in case we hate this, so it'll all be good. This is gonna totally finish us off on a cylinder though, and we will have to make another model, possibly, or we could bring this back to a square. We can do anything. That's right. Although, how do we fill this with? Actually, let's not do this. That way we can't bring it back. We won't be able to bring it back that way. We need to put this back. And this is just me doing some experimenting. This is all just for fun. Trying to see if this method will work. This still doesn't work this way because I have to fill it in. I don't like it. I need to think. Mekan says, I see. My favorite is kebab, but after that, burger too. Nice. Yeah, I haven't had too much food on kebabs before. Some, but mostly like in, I guess, maybe like a Greek setting, like Greek food on kebabs. I would think that's probably like my best example. I'm pretty picky when it comes to food. I have a ton of stomach issues, so it's hard to get food that doesn't upset my stomach. But I would say that a lot of American food now is like pretty just garbage, so it's kind of understandable. Although it tastes so good, even though it's terrible for you. All right, so I guess what we would want to do is, that's awesome, Metcan. That's cool. Learning something new. I guess we can keep it like this here. This is what we need. And we can pull him down a little bit. And I wonder if I can get this. Ooh. This is like a lot of trial and error. Bear with me. I'm wondering if I could get this to the same size and then just fill these in. Let's go here and see if we can see. We are trying to reach this line here. It's hard to tell which one it is, though, whenever we leave orthographic. Are they straight? Are these lined up now? Let's go back here. Weekend says, yeah, like Cheetos. Are you a fan of Cheetos, man? I can technically still eat those because they don't actually have gluten in them. They have, they're made out of corn puffs, but they are colored with chemical dyes. They're not actually colored by the cheese. So it's not exactly the greatest thing for you, but they do taste good. That is for sure. What about extruding from bottom and fill the entire hole? That's what I was going to do originally, but the fill isn't going to give me the faces in the middle that I want. I want these faces here. Although what I'm doing here, this all works now, and I've got kind of what I wanted, but this is fine. This is all to say that I didn't really have to do it this way. This is highly inefficient as well, because really, it's fine. This is one piece now. It works somewhat. And now I don't want this to be curved like this. I actually want this to be flat. So we're gonna straighten these up really quickly. And we're gonna go do that with vertices. And we're going to try to go on the X and Y, it looks like. And we're going to try to match these up. -1 and -13. -1 and -13. 1. 13. Pull you out flat. Looking good. Excuse me. All right, yeah, we wanting to go flat with this? I think that we are. And you'll see why in just a bit. So we're going to straighten all these up. Let's go ahead and hit a Control S and pop a save there. I would have lost a lot of work if we would have had another crash. Let me check my CPU. Still looking a little good. I gotta get a stretch. Oh, my muscles are killing me today, guys. It's rough. Mekan says, I mean, they're very unhealthy but delicious. Yeah, I hear you. Is that your favorite chip snack? Is it Cheetos? Is that the go-to? I think that I have to pick I don't know. I don't know what my favorite is anymore. I've been trying to not really eat those like kind of chips junk food anymore, but I liked Cheetos, I liked Doritos. Um yeah. When I started getting into the like I thought it was healthy. I would eat the baked Lays because they were baked and they were less fat. And they are less fat, but they're still baked in seed oil, so they're not really the best overall. But yeah, I got some serious stomach worries that I've got to figure out someday. -3 and 13. But I am getting hungry, so that's a good sign at least. 13. 3 and 13. Straighten that guy up. And thanks for tuning in, everyone, to the stream. I know we've been hanging out and chatting with some of our TreeFall fans, but I have noticed the analytics looks pretty wild. There's definitely been some peeking in and out. People are hopping in, hopping out, staying a couple minutes, checking it out, getting a little wary, hopping on out, saying this ain't for me. But I appreciate everybody who's been joining in and out of the stream. It's been helping out a lot. I can see we definitely have some good views on this so far, as well as some decent watch time, especially when the beginning of the stream started off a little light. So I'm enjoying you guys popping in while we're doing some of this work here. So we're going for -3 and -15 for this one. So we're going to go 3 and 15. And -3 and -15. -1 on this and -15. And -1 and -15. Now we're all straight. But now that we got all this, we don't actually need these joints anymore. So we're going to highlight these and we're going to go to dissolve edges. And we're going to check, make sure our vertices are gone. And we're beautiful once again. Everything is getting nice and minimalist. All right. And now that we've got that straightened up and cleaned, we're going to highlight here. And we'll take you to. We're going to scale this on the X by about 75%. Scale it on the Y by about 75%. Make it a little bit more in line with what we're looking at. That looks about right. We got some column design. Everything looks good. I feel like this is what it's going to need to take for the skinny column. And we're going to build the platform up on top of this. Metgan says, anytime. I personally slowed down for Steam release, so I have some time to chill here. Awesome, man. That's cool. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to build from here. I think I'm actually going to take this like a little bit lower. Whoa, no, not the whole thing. Almost broke it. Let's see. What does it look like on 8? Not that low. This is like 8.17 before, so let's go 8.1. Yeah, that's a little thinner. Maybe we'll do it a different way. Maybe we'll go... I think we're going to do this a different way. Let's go 8.15. I'm just trying to design out in my head what I think looks good. I'm looking at a couple references, but, you know, it's kind of all up in the air. You know, columns are so finicky. You just want to have a good design to them, but you want them to be semi-historically accurate. Although this is a fantasy game, so it doesn't matter all that much. This is what we're talking about right here when we're like, let's get some vertices in here. You want to push PS4? You want to add some extra vertices in here? That's what we're going to be doing. Extrude along the normals. Pop these out. All right, guys. So what are we thinking about this? So we're popping some extra faces here for not much gain. And then we're going to take this guy. And we're going to extrude him up by 1. And scale him out. So like that. We're going to test this real fast. Pop this plane out. Now this would be bigger than our base. Oh, is that what we want? Do we want it to be bigger than the base? Yes or no? Not really. Because that pops through the wall. And then we're going to be looking at some weird stuff here. I don't know if I like this at all, really. I think I might go back to my original design. That might be better. That is the Y, -15. Let's just get it match. We're going to get it matching the bottom, and then we're going to take a look. The top looks like a chandelier. Yeah, I don't know if I like the top anymore. I was thinking that this was going to be pretty cool. But I'm thinking that we might not go down this route. And it's simpler just to have the columns duplicated. That is x value of -1. All right, so we put, so the goal was to get everything in the same place, something like this. And then, you know, like have it like this. And then like, there's going to be some cuts here. And have it kind of like something like this for our platform. But so it'd be like this. I don't think I like that at all, actually, whatsoever. It looks kind of stupid. I don't know. Let's pull out a couple of them here. I like this part. I like doing that. So going back here. Here's our original. Here's our other. We were going to build completely different options, actually. We could probably take a couple of these and do some options. Let's go apart by 2. Yeah. All right, guys. What are we thinking? We liking this side better over here with our larger squares. It looks like a little top heavy, but this is like, so there's like a, you know, like a solid platform under your character that you can jump on. That looks okay, I think. Honestly, it looks like it should be flipped around. Like that should be the base and this should be the top. Let's take a look at that. Rotate on the Y by -1 or by 180. You know, he said, Megan said they look like chandeliers up top. I think they look like candlesticks. Um, and when you're looking at it this way, rotate on the Y. To me, they look like candlesticks. All right, so what are we thinking? Are we liking the big top for the base, and the curved top at the bottom? Or are we thinking we like the symmetrical top and bottom where they look the same and the columns are just kind of similar? At least we already have this here. We do already have these with these lines at the top, so they're basically done. And then let's look at a couple more options. So the other thing I was thinking was, like, I kind of wanted to have the columns be a little wide. That's looking a little too stark. Let's pop another, not that many. We need to go to 1. And let's we can do it by edges. Let's get them all together about here. Actually, let's pull it down by 1. Not that much. This can go down to like 6. Yep. This can go up to like 3. It's got to be 4. Yep. Is the middle 5? I'm probably going to want another cut, just to be honest, before we even take a look at this one. And this is probably going to be 7. 3. All right. Scale on the X by 1.25. Scale by And now at this point, I was going to eyeball it. Now it just looks really weird. It's just fat. I don't think the fat column, like, I was kind of thinking like a curved fat column would be like kind of cool, but I don't think it looks good now with the top. I think the top has to be redone if we're going to go with the fat design to make it fit a little bit better. Or we could just maybe skinny it up a little bit so it's not so stark. It kind of looks like just a chunky vase. That's a little better. All right, I'm going to give you guys a couple examples. All right, so this is what it would be like if they were all in a row touching. This is like what they'll look like if they're separated a little bit like this. This is what the rounded columns look like with a little bit of a weight to them. And that's what they look like touching. That's a lot of options. I'm not really positive on what I like the most. Maybe I'll take this to a Twitter poll. We'll do this after the stream. We'll just take a screenshot of like this, upside down like this one and the fat one, and then be like, vote on which column you would rather see around a castle, and just take some polls. Honestly, I think they all look good enough to be in the game. I feel like once we got them, textured and stuff, like it would look pretty good. But I'm trying to do, a good design here. Mekan says he guesses his favorite is the regular top is chandelier. So you mean this one right here? That's your favorite one? That would be cool because that's the one we did first, or I guess second, because technically this one was made first. And what we might do is I might keep them all, to be honest, and use them in different parts of the level. That way we all get featured here. Like this base room all the way around might take the fat columns. The skinny columns might be up here. And then inside the room over here, we might do this really cool one with the curved chandelier. Oh yeah, you like the weightiest one, this one, like this? Yeah, I think that this one is my favorite, to be honest. And I'll probably use that around the base. But I probably will use a couple of these skinny ones in some of these rooms to go around the floor. And that might be kind of cool because this looks like it makes more sense outside, and these ones would make a little bit more sense inside. And maybe what we can do is like cut these in half because they're probably going to be too tall. Obviously, they're not going in the curved hallway, but they might be able to go over here in between our floors. So that's pretty cool. I didn't realize it was already now because I mentioned at 4:31. Then that's when we started talking about food and getting hungry. Oh, it's getting close to 5. We're hitting, let's see what our uptime is. An hour and 57, an hour 58 on the dot. That's pretty awesome. So that's looking pretty good for today. I love it. We're gonna get pretty far. We're getting a lot of details in here. If you guys can't tell from this episode, this is the type of stuff I'm talking about. Where we're making really complex, detailed stuff that's going to be going everywhere. On the ground out here, in the hallways in there, on the bridges, some gargoyles out on the bridges across, stuff in that room up there, up here to the left, stuff in these rooms, some stuff out here, stuff in this room. This is going to be Castle Extraordinaire, and it's going to be pretty awesome. I really want to texture it like I mentioned earlier, just because the thumbnails are getting so plain. Before we end today's video, got to talk about the thumbnails. Let me know what you think about the thumbnails, and let me know if you have the same exact complaint. I might lose viewers, so I changed the thumbnail today. The thumbnail for this, let's go ahead and click on your YouTube channel. All right, let's take a look at my YouTube channel, everybody. So this live right now, you can see we got the green barrier here. Boom, boom, boom. When you go over to my live, I wanted to do something to take these episodes that we're doing. You can see I started numbering them here. 4. I didn't put the 5 in that corner. This one is 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. I wanted to separate, besides it just saying live dev, I wanted them to be noticeably different than my actual videos, because I spend quite a bit of time working on these videos that are edited, and I have a black border and the TreeFall Studios logo in them, and then the thumbnail. So I wanted the live stuff to stand out as our live series. So I made a red border that matches that live dot by the live dev. And I made that like this. But then I got some complaints realizing, if you can see, there's a red line that YouTube gives you to let you know that you watched the video. And I was getting complaints from people saying that they realized with my new red logos that they could no longer see that line, and they didn't know which ones they had watched and which ones they hadn't watched already. And all these thumbnails are highly similar. We're doing the same thing every single day. And the titles are pretty similar as we've been modeling this castle. So making a standout thumbnail for the live series is a little difficult. So I went with the green today, and that's the reasoning behind that. It's the green that matches the green in our TreeFall Studios logo. But I don't really like it. I think it also kind of looks like, when you see it in the little shrunk up like that, it kind of looks like, not like barf, but it kind of does. Like, it's doesn't seem that clickable. I mean, obviously, you guys clicked on and joined in. But for someone, we had some people that were new that have never been here in the stream before or to TreeFall Studios that had joined in today and chatted. So obviously some people saw it and clicked on it, but I don't think that's the best. I'm trying to get a better thumbnail game because that's like what really, really matters. So yeah, I don't know. I'm going to try a little bit better. Let me know. Vote on if you think I should keep the green or if you think I should change it to something else and try for something better. Let me know if you're watching this after the fact, because I keep saying let me know in the comments, and if you weren't watching it live, that's okay. You can let us know in the comments below. This will be a published video. So let me go over the rundown real quick about everything we did in today's episode, and then we'll talk about all the things we need to go on the exit of the video. Let me switch back. So we made all these columns and chandeliers towards the end. Not chandeliers is what Megan said. This looks like our columns. There's a bunch of different options. So we did all of that. Also in today's episode, we made our little secret door here. We arched this up. We arched this one up. We made a secret room on the inside of this, and we made the cut through the floor, and we made the ceilings and walls over there. So we did all of that in today's episode. Also in the start of today's episode, we popped off and we started it off by showing some new stuff in Maze Rising Trials, some grass models, a new grass texture, and the fog that I was working on for that game. So we've had quite a bit going on. I've done quite a bit of good work in 2 hours. So that's what we did for today. And tomorrow, we're going to be doing a little bit more of these details, I guess. I think that's the plan. If I change it up, I will let you guys know. I'll be posting up the stream either tonight or tomorrow morning so you guys can get notified when it goes live. 3 o'clock seems to be working out decent. I'll probably go for another 3 o'clock tomorrow, most likely. One more question from Megan. Like, put one on the Steam. Put one Steam like on the side, one dislike on the other side, facial expression in the middle. Yeah, you mean for the thumbnail? Yeah, we'll change it up and try to do a little bit better with our live thumbnails, that's for sure. So yeah, thanks for tuning in today to the stream, guys. That was a lot of it's good work, tedious back and forth to make these columns. I'm pretty happy with them, with how they turned out, and we're going to keep going tomorrow and really filling out some extra details on this. But if you're new here and you like video games or you like game development, this YouTube channel is for you. Let me look at my stats. I was going to tell you guys this before I left today. I'm super close. You can't tell because it's the subscriber counts where it's rounded off, but I'm at 1,389 subscribers. So I'm one away from 1,390. So we are only 11 subscribers away from 1,400. That's our next big milestone, 11 to 1,400. That's pretty cool. So I'm pretty excited about that. If you guys are new to the channel, if you like video game development, you like seeing stuff like this, or you're new to video game development and you're a game developer and you want to learn about game development, I've got tutorials. This is also the place for you. Consider subscribing to the channel. Also, on this channel, outside of game development content, You can see this is also my game I am working on. We have trailers, devlogs, and all sorts of information about the video games that I make. So if you're a fan of indie games or if you are a game developer, this channel is for you. Be sure to hit that subscribe button if you're new here. Also, if you want to support the channel, we do have a Patreon page. Let's see. Oh, perfect. It's running across the screen right now. So you must have just seen all of our Patreon subscribers. I need to give a personal shout out to all of them. I can even give a personal shout out to Carmen Red, Overhyped Gamer, Shark and Minnow, and PLP. Thanks for what you guys do for TreeFall Studios on patreon.com. I couldn't do what I do without you guys. The additional income from Patreon really helps add up with our Steam income, as we were talking about earlier, and that really pushes us over the top. It might seem like not that much. Our tiers are only $1, $3, and $5 a month, but it helps out a ton. And you get your names featured in our YouTube videos. You get your names featured in the credits of our games. You get to see behind the scenes posts monthly to semi-monthly when we show off some stuff that people haven't seen before, and occasionally you might get to test a demo before anyone else and do a beta test. You get also special roles in our Discord, but it doesn't really do anything but highlight you basically and show you in the Discord above everybody else's name, I guess. I don't know that much about the Discord stuff, so I guess that's a special perk as well. So if you are new and you're considering supporting the channel or our video game development, you can check out the links below and go to our Patreon page. As I mentioned right there about Discord, if you want to hang out with the TreeFall Studios community, or if you want to ask me game development questions, there are links down in the description below for you to join our Discord. It's starting to be bustling over there. We've got around 50-ish members or something like that, and I edited it recently, so we have a couple of different things, some new emojis, some tree emojis for all of our little chat bubbles, and I drop my videos in there and post the game links when they come out, so you guys can keep up with all of our information in the Discord pretty well. If you're new to TreeFall Studios, like I mentioned all this in this ending spiel here, you can find our games down below. You can find our games on PlayStation or on Steam. I don't know if it's running. It was probably running on the news banner down here. Today is the 12th, so tomorrow is the end of the Steam summer sale. If you guys are interested in checking out some of our games, they are all on sale, and you can't get a better deal. It'll be months before you can get a deal this cheap for our games. You can pick up 7 of our games on Steam for only $9.88. More than 10 hours of content easily. You'll have a blast with it. Hopefully, if you don't, you can leave me a bad review, but it'll be great if you enjoyed it and leave a good review instead. So check out our games on Steam if you want to get them on sale, and if you want to get them on PlayStation, there's a lot of extra games that are exclusive to PlayStation, so check out some of those links, or go to our channel and you can check out some of our trailers to find out more about our games. All right, guys, with that being said, I will catch you in the next video. I'm planning on hitting the stream again tomorrow, so you guys can hit me up tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in. I can see there's a few of you still watching along, so it's been a blast. I've had fun hanging out with you guys and chatting today. I hope everyone has a great day. Take care, and I will see you next time.